it's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a Thursday to.
I was like, I wanted to join in so bad, but I was trying to figure out how you were gonna.
You don't remember?
I remember the song, of course.
From Romeo Must Die?
Yeah, I remember the song, but I was trying to figure out how you were going to remix it for us. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat. There's no beats in our podcast right now, so I was just trying to figure out what you were going to say there.
Yeah, I was going to wing it, but winging it does not work for me. I must prepare.
Yeah, clearly.
So basically, welcome back, y'all. And we are so sorry that we didn't have our podcast ready in a timely manner for you this week. As we've mentioned before, we both travel a lot for our day jobs, and that happened this week, and it's going to happen quite a bit
over the next couple months.
Yeah. So it's kind of our busy season with our day job. And so that means we're going to have to figure out some alternative methods.
It's probably going to be a bit sporadic for the next 2 months, but every week is the plan.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep it consistent. We are people who value consistency. So,
but we also appreciate y'all being flexible with us and understanding.
I appreciate the fact that people were like, "Hey man, I didn't see your episode this week." I was like, "What? You actually looking?"
Right.
I'm still shocked that people actually listen.
People listen to this.
I be forgetting that it's not just my mama and my stepdad and then Tara's line sisters.
Right.
Some of them.
Honestly, I even forget those of my LSs who do listen because I'll comment on stuff to them and they're like, yeah, we heard you say this in the podcast. We know how you feel about whatever topic. And I was like, oh, because I have this is my opinion. So I have that same opinion no matter who I'm talking to. I do that quite often, actually, even with people at work. Something will come up. I'll be like, yeah. So I feel like, well, and they're like, yeah, we know how you feel. We heard the podcast. I'm like, oh, right. Okay. So thanks everyone for listening. And thank you even more for understanding with the slight delay. We are, here for you. We'll try to be there for you when we can. So what's going on in our lives? Speaking of my LSs, shout out to Lane Delta Spring 08.
Come on, Spring 08.
I had the opportunity, the joy, the pleasure of getting to see 3 of my 6 line sisters this past weekend, and it was glorious. Like, seriously, I just think sometimes a girls trip is just so needed. I think that it's good for your soul. It's good for your friendship, obviously. It's good for your own, yourself, but it's also good for your relationship. And those of y'all who have been listening for a while, you probably know that I write for this company called Afropolitan Mom. And so afropolitanmom.com, I'll actually share this article on our Facebook page. It's an article I wrote a while ago, but it's definitely very relevant right now. And it's basically about why girls trips are good for your relationship. So real quick.
You wrote it when the Girls Trip movie came out, right?
I did, yeah. When the Girls Trip movie came out, I was like, I'll write this. Which that movie is hilarious still. So it helps you reset and recharge just for yourself. And I definitely felt that. Just needed like a little getaway trip just to relax and do nothing. It reminds you to be more fun. I don't know why. If y'all know me, y'all know I'm not very fun. I'm a very serious person.
Oh my gosh, she's so boring.
I'm very boring. And so sometimes I have to remind myself to be just a little bit more fun in our relationship. Mm-hmm. And being around my girlfriends does that for me because we just laugh and kick it and clown and joke on each other, and it brings out my college self, really, which is slightly more fun. I still was pretty boring then, but yeah. And then lastly, it helps you appreciate your partner more. I definitely feel that. A lot of times you're just kind of, I don't know, it just, for some reason, being around other women and just talking about what other people are going through or what you could be going through or whatever, I don't know, or even just kind of being away from each other, it makes you like, oh, I've got a good guy, they start bragging on him and I'm like, yeah, he is pretty good. So so yeah,
I'm smiling hard right now.
We do everything together. Y'all know we do this podcast together, we work together, different departments, but same company, and we work out together sometimes. We go to church together. Pretty much everything. We have the same circle of friends
because we literally both moved here
without
our friends, didn't know anybody here except for her family, and we both had to like make friends once we got here. So we kind of did that together.
And so we do a lot together. So it is cool every now and then just to have like a little getaway and some time apart to actually miss each other. Also, like I said last week, y'all, September is Take a Man on a Date month. So I'm planning a date night for Ryan.
Nice.
I need y'all to help me out, okay?
Please help her.
Send me suggestions, DM me, or us if you, I don't necessarily know that it has to be a huge secret, but send me some suggestions.
I enjoy secrets, unlike somebody else in this relationship.
I hate secrets. I hate lies. Give me all the details.
Nope.
So, send me your suggestions. You can comment or post them in the comment section of this article. I'm still stuck on the article.
Clearly.
This podcast episode, or you can just shoot us an email. He don't be checking the email like that anyway.
I really don't. It's like I have it, but it's not activated on my phone. You know how like if you got like the Gmail app, you can have like 100 different Gmail accounts in your phone, but only 5 of them active at a time. I think they fixed it to where you can have as many as you want now, but it's just like turned off. So she handles that mostly.
Yep. So you can send that to us or however form you want to, because I'm going to actually do that. And if you are in a relationship and you have a date planned, we want to hear about that as well. So let's hop into this timeline.
Go for it.
What's on my timeline?
What's on your timeline, though?
First of all, I don't want to talk about this because it's depressing.
Of course
but
it is.
While I was out of town with the girls, there was yet another mass shooting. Of course, because it's America. That's what we do. 5 people were killed, 21 were shot, and this was in Odessa, Texas. And it's just very frustrating. I'm not trying to breeze past it to make light of it. Obviously, I take it very seriously, but I just don't want to dwell on it because it's sad that this is so common. I think the good thing that came out of it, I don't know if this was because of this particular mass shooting, but just the fact there have been so many, is the fact that Walmart and Kroger both agreed to stop selling. Well, Walmart agreed to stop selling handguns, and then both stores agreed to ask customers to no longer openly carry guns in their stores. So that's, I think, a good thing. We really need laws. We need common sense gun laws to take place so that we can see some changes. But yeah. Also, very sad, devastating news. Hurricane Dorian, which we have a small human that is named Dorian that we absolutely love and adore and like legit so obsessed with him.
Keyword when she says we have a small human.
Oh, not our child,
like,
a friend's
not
child.
Our child. Really?
Our friend's child.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically our nephew.
So we loved, basically our little nephew. We love the name Dorian. We also loved it from Moesha. Dorian on that show was kind of annoying.
I don't know the words.
It's me is all I know. I'm realizing my responsibilities. It's me.
I'm always on my mind.
My best friend's always on my mind.
Well,
gotta get down tonight. Gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta move. Let's do the washing machine right there.
Yep.
Eat to the. Anyway, wow, got off track. Anyway,
her little brother distracted by theme songs
on that show was kind of annoying, but we loved it because that's back when we loved Ray J. Also, we have another friend whose husband is named Dorian. Yeah, so we know some Dorians that we like, but
not the one that's got the Bahamas underwater.
Not that one. We don't like that.
Not
Dorian.
The one that's like
causing destruction.
Like having people drown.
Pray for the Bahamas,
busting
y'all.
Up people's houses. Because
it's funny, we can pray for Paris and other places where it's fair-skinned people, but when destruction happens in the Bahamas or Puerto Rico or Honduras or anywhere with brown people, it seems like people try to turn a blind eye to it, or just like ignore it. And it's been about 2 years since Harvey hit Houston, and that's where a lot of our loved ones live. My family, your friends from school, like it's that right there. Mm-hmm. Just brings up to me how serious stuff like this is, because we're lucky that our loved ones were safe. But, you know, it's very dangerous. It's also hitting parts of Florida and North Carolina. And, you know, we have people there as well. I mean, I saw where this island of 50,000 people, the Bahamas, 70% underwater. Like,
it's crazy.
It's really sad. But I am seeing some people step up and actually deliver help and resources to that area. I just saw something where a cruise ship
sent like a cruise ship full of doctors and nurses, and other medical professionals
to go help out.
Yeah,
so that's
Tyler
good.
Perry. I heard Tyler Perry used his personal jet to send supplies and stuff.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. I got a bunch of partners from down there. You know, they obviously concerned about their families and things like that. You know, it's like literally just do what you can to help. You know.
Yeah.
Don't just throw paper towels at people, because that's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, obviously paper towels are beneficial, but not when you just throw them at people. Paper towels are not going to clean up a hurricane. So be mindful. Make sure you reach out to your people. Make sure their people are okay. Lend a helping hand when you can. That's what life is about, is making sure that everyone around you is okay. In my personal opinion, that's how you be the best human you can be.
Yeah.
Is love thy neighbor. Even if it's a neighbor to the slightly south, I guess, continentally, you know. Yeah. We both sit here trying to make gestures. Gestures like what I'm saying is the island is our neighbor.
The whole world is our neighbor. I mean, absolutely. You know, that's just.
I wish I could have seen these gestures we were trying to make to
we're
demonstrate
comm majors, so writing.
Yeah,
we got you.
I'm usually better with words than that.
Oh no, I got you on words. I just don't got you on geography. So
see, I was okay with geography.
So y'all know I love Grey's Anatomy, right?
Yeah, you do.
I don't even know how many times I've watched that whole show. But Melissa Fredericks, which is Kev on Stage's wife, she popped up on my timeline because, I mean, we're just Facebook friends, you know, like, so basically we're like friends in real life.
Basically.
I just hit friend request. I didn't think she was going to accept it.
Oh, wow.
Because she's famous, right?
Yeah,
you know, like, how's she still accepting friend requests? Like, anyway, thanks, Melissa, if you ever...
If for some
I cannot
reason
even imagine her ever listening to this.
For some reason, somebody tells you that your name was mentioned on this show and you listen to it.
Yeah, shout out to the Love Hour podcast and everything that Kev on Stage does.
Hilarious.
Yes. Anywho, she just started watching Grey's Anatomy, and I love that because I feel like that makes us even closer in my head. But she just posted her thoughts. I think she's on like season 3 or something like that. Denny died. And she wanted to cry, which, you know what, so many people who are just now watching Grey's are so upset about Denny dying, but I think I got over it because now we're on season 15 or 16, I think. And so I was upset when it happened, but now I'm like, yeah, he gonna end. Like, it's more important people that have died to me on that show. Yeah. At this point, like,
Shonda's a savage.
She killing off everybody. Then her other thought was that she went from really liking Meredith and Derek to hating them. Their drama gets on her nerves, and I totally get it because
so avoidable.
The point that she's at was really stupid, like how they were doing the whole back and forth. And then once you keep watching and see how their story ends, you're like, yeah, that was a waste of time. But it's realistic because that's how relationships, especially in your early 20s, like that's actually how that happens, where you're just kind of like doing back and forth and not realizing if it's worth it or whatever. Anyway, right. Then she says she really identifies with Christina, which absolutely, I mean, I do too. Christina's like one of the best characters on that show. Don't really like how cutthroat she is sometimes, but she's, you know.
Hey, I can't fault her for that. She knows what she wants.
She does.
And she goes after it.
Exactly.
And won't stop till she gets it.
Then she said, I hope Loretta Devine cuts the chief. And you know what? About where she is in the show, I was feeling like that too, because he put her through some stuff and she ain't deserve that. She ain't do nothing to deserve that, but love him. So yeah, somebody tell Melissa to hang in there. I don't want to ruin any of it for her because I know. So I'm surprised somebody hadn't rooted for her. They may have. I just haven't.
She's probably just been hearing about all of it and wanted to see for herself. Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
I just love when people that I like or admire start watching Grey's Anatomy, because I'm like, yes, come to the dark side. It's just so good. Like, all of Shonda's shows are really good, but Grey's Anatomy is just, it's amazing.
Yep.
So Nicki Minaj retired. Did you see that?
My very first thought. You remember that time when Jay-Z retired, like in 2002?
I do remember when Jay-Z retired.
You remember when Michael Jordan retired and went to play baseball?
Yes,
and
I
then
do.
Came back.
Mm-hmm.
Who else retired and then came back? It's kind of a thing. You can like retire and then come back.
Well, my whole thing when Jay-Z retired, I was like, why would you retire? You're famous. You don't. It's not like you're working 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. Like, you could just take some time off. Look at Rihanna right now. You could call her retired because she didn't put out an album in so long. Like,
and does not have one on the way either.
And she don't have to.
She don't need to.
I mean, she allegedly has one on the way. Yeah, but
it's like, of course, she's like making music.
But
she
you
just
can
ain't
take your
pressed
time.
to put it out.
Yeah, you can do other projects. Like, I just feel like Nicki Minaj is so sensitive, and I don't understand why. Like, she lately has been getting so upset with people criticizing her, and so she's like basically allegedly retiring to start a family, but it seems like all the trolls got to her and she just was like, you know what, I quit. Like, that is not the way to be.
Here's my thoughts on that.
When you know you got how many fans? She got so many fans.
Yeah, literally millions. Here's my thoughts on that. The last couple of albums, or, well, what I've heard of the last 2 albums, it doesn't sound like she's having fun like she used to.
That's fair. Because Nicki Minaj, when we were in college, is very different from Nicki Minaj right now.
Right. Pink Friday. I don't think she's ever going to top Pink Friday. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm not saying the music she put out after that wasn't good, but it's not Pink Friday. It just doesn't sound like she's having fun. It feels like, to me, it sounds like she's trying to prove herself.
And she is. And that's the saddest part.
And she doesn't need to. She does not need to. But, you know.
And the best part about it is when Pink Friday came out, she had already had so many mixtapes. So she was already like really hot before she even dropped that.
Right. And it's like, when the first time I heard Nicki Minaj was probably 2009-ish, maybe. Whenever Lil Wayne had that freestyle on the Upgrade You Beat, when he said, I just signed a chick named Nicki Minaj, I was like, who the heck is that? So then somebody finally found it for me, and I was like, oh, okay, she cold. Even that Nicki Minaj versus Pink Friday Nicki Minaj sounds dramatically different than this current Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, my one of my friends from undergrad, shout out to Mimi Tweety, she was a huge Nicki Minaj fan before Pink Friday ever came out. So whenever we rode with her, because you know, when you freshman, all you do is ride with whoever's car is closest in the parking lot. So whenever we rode with her, she would be playing her mixtapes. I'm like, oh, what is this? Like, you know, it was just amazing. And so I just really, especially she filled a void, you know, when I feel like, so obviously Lil' Kim, but is who she gets compared to the most. But when we were kids, we were really lucky. We had a lot of great female rappers. We had Lil' Kim, Missy, Eve,
it seemed
Trina,
like every like
MC Lyte, Queen Latifah,
every group back in the day,
Da Brat
had there was Mia
Lisa
X,
Left Eye.
Man, it seemed like every group back in the day had a female rapper on their roster.
Yeah.
So it's like, you take No Limit, they had Mia X, and then Gangsta Boo. You take Murder Inc. They had Charlie Baltimore.
Yes.
You take, who else? Busta Rhymes had Rod Digger. I mean, Flip Mode had Rod Digger. Man, who else? It's like everybody basically had, you know, a female in their crew. So it was just like, there was always at least, you know, representation. I'm trying to think. I feel like Cash Money had somebody before Nicki.
And then it just kind of dwindled out, and then Nicki Minaj came on the scene. And so, like, I feel like maybe she's just burnt out. I do want to read this tweet. She said, so let me see. The first tweet was, I've decided to retire and have my family. I know you guys are happy now. Basically saying those of you who were hating are happy. To my fans, keep repping me due to the death of me. X in the box because ain't nobody checking me. Of course, that's one of her lines. Love you for life. Then she came back later and said, I'm still right here, still madly in love with you guys. And you know that in hindsight, this should have been a Queen Radio discussion, and it will be. I promise you guys will be happy. No guests, just us talking about everything. The tweet was abrupt and insensitive, and I apologize, babe. So I don't listen to Queen Radio because I have Tidal. I don't have Apple Music. I know everybody and their mama has Apple Music.
I have both.
And Spotify.
I could let you listen to it if I know you wanted to.
I mean, I don't necessarily want to listen to it. I'm just personally saying I'm not going to listen to it.
I'm personally not interested because I keep hearing our friends over at Crystal and West and how she goes on there ranting. It doesn't sound appealing to me. So I haven't bothered to listen to it. I just take their word for it. But
yeah, basically I feel like she got upset and decided to retire. I think she'll be back after she misses it. Like Jay-Z, honestly, Jay-Z missed it too much, and especially being married to Beyonce. I'm sure he saw her living out her art and performing and was like, yeah, about that retirement.
I wonder how many albums Jay-Z's had since the retirement. Like at least 4.
Probably 10. Yeah, at least
4.
And that's the crazy thing, because I remember I was so upset when he retired. I was such a huge Jay-Z fan. But yeah, good luck to Nicki. I do think it's weird that she said she's retiring to start a family. Because people are thinking, like, does that mean she's already pregnant? I feel like celebrities try to hide their pregnancies until the 3rd month when it's, medically safe to announce it and things like that. And so why would she say that if she wasn't already there? Who knows? Maybe she is, but she's been denying pregnancy rumors for a while now. So I don't know. I just wish her all the best. But yeah, sometimes celebrities need to realize
she's also about to be 37 this year.
Yeah.
So just, she's thinking of herself, and that's perfectly fine.
She can. I mean, Janet canceled a whole tour to have a baby. Yeah, you can do that. You can have a baby. Go for it. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying maybe you didn't have to hop on Twitter right away and announce a retirement. Like, what happened to press releases? What happened to, cultivating a thoughtful message? I mean, yeah, Twitter fingers. I mean, but, our president doesn't do that, so why should we expect that from a musical artist? So
if you count Watch the Throne and the other collaboration albums, then then the Beyonce, him and Beyonce with the Carters, so that's Watch the Throne. There was another like him and Kanye album, wasn't it? Watch the Throne and then Cruel Summer, or was that just Kanye and Good Music? So if you count Watch the Throne and Everything Is Love, that was 7 albums after the retirement. So Kingdom Come, American Gangster, Blueprint 3, Magna Carta, Holy Grail, 444, and then Watch the Throne and Everything Is Love. So yeah, 7 albums after his retirement.
Right.
Then there was also Live in Brooklyn, for what that counts.
Count that, but...
that's about it.
Well, I'm sure Nicki will do the same, and hopefully this will give her time to take a break from social media and just enjoy her personal life and future family
and have fun again.
And enjoy it. Get back to loving the art.
Yeah.
So Facebook dating is out here. Did you see that?
Yeah. So, number 11 on that link you sent me.
Oh yeah, the BuzzFeed.
So yeah, BuzzFeed. Article. Live and Die by BuzzFeed. All right.
It had 15 hilarious reactions to Facebook's new dating app.
Somebody said, I've only been on Facebook dating for like 5 minutes and I've already been matched with a hammock, a new pillow top mattress, a Honda Civic, and this is Facebook Marketplace. Because I be all over Facebook Marketplace lately, honestly.
Yeah, you do.
It's kind of I just like seeing what people are selling because I often find things on there and I'm just like, do I really want to go meet the strange person to go get it, though?
My favorite was number 6 that said, I like how Facebook dating notifies you when your husband signs up.
Hilarious.
So here's the thing. I mean, I almost said we met on Facebook. Obviously, we met in the 4th grade. We went to school together. But we reconnected on Facebook, right?
I mean,
you slid in my DMs.
I did slide in your DMs,
yeah. And it worked out for us.
Yeah.
But would you sign up if you were single now for Facebook dating as an actual app, not just messaging someone on your own on Facebook where they are, trying to get into the Bumble, Tinder, eHarmony, Match.com world?
It's hard to say. And I'm to be completely honest, it's hard to say because I never experienced that before you and I started dating 6.5 years ago. So I can't say I would, but at the same time, I can't say I wouldn't.
So
I would probably be one of those people that like, I guess I'll give it a shot. And then the first date goes terribly wrong. Man, I ain't doing this no more. And
yeah, it's very
something I would do.
It's very hard for us to imagine this because we started dating before dating apps were really a thing. And honestly, like no shade, but online dating to me was more for like older people. Like typically that was like
that's how my mom met her husband.
Yeah, like that's
and they've been together 13 years now? Wait. Almost 15.
Yeah, so that was like to me, that was like our moms were doing that. And
13, yeah.
So when I was in my early 20s, was contemplating online dating, but I was like, I'm not there yet. I'm not old enough to do online dating. And was like, I'm going to see what these, basically the clubs are talking about.
Again,
and
no
who
shade.
I can just, no shade to anyone who did. It works for a lot of people. But yeah, I kind of was just like, let me try meeting someone in real life for a few more years. And then I might try online dating. But, then yeah, the dating apps came along way after we got together, so we never experienced that. So I want to hear from y'all. Let us know if you've tried the dating apps in terms of Bumble, Tinder, or whatever else is out there. We don't be swiping, we don't know. And let us know if you like that, if you've met someone, had a great date on there, if you've had a terrible date. We want to hear about that as well. And then if you want to give Facebook dating a shot, we want to hear from you. I personally don't think I would try it, just because to me, like, Facebook is where like a lot of my aunts and uncles are, and like parents' friends. And
but keep in mind, the older people like that don't really know how to use Facebook. They just get on there and like stuff. And
I know that. I'm just saying, like, I would feel like my dating activity would somehow pop up on my timeline, and then next thing I know, one of my great aunts is liking the fact that I went on a date with some guy. Like, I know that they're two separate things, but I would like them to be even more separate if I were single.
That's fair.
And I just don't trust Facebook to match me up with somebody. Now, granted, they do know all the articles you post, all the things you like. They probably know me really well, so they might be able to help you find somebody. But yeah, that BuzzFeed article cracked me up because a lot of people were like, not here for it. No, thank you.
Right. It's it doesn't seem to be taking well.
It's hilarious that Facebook is trying. And so I'm just good for them on that.
Hey, why not?
Good on you.
Your Facebook.
Honestly, there wasn't much on my timeline. The majority of my timeline were these Aight Imma Head Out memes. Yeah. And I love that. So I'm just going to read a few of my favorites, okay?
All right. Now, if you're not familiar with the Aight Imma Head Out meme, it's basically SpongeBob standing up from a chair in his house with the remote in his hand. And the moment of the screen cap, it looks like his eyes are low, as if he's tired and ready to leave an event or a function where he's hanging out with other people. And it's so relatable because when you're hanging out with people, you just like, all right, I'm going to head out.
Like, you just suddenly, it hits you.
Yeah. It's just like, why am I still here? Okay, let's go. It's time to get out of here.
My crew, let's go.
Basically. So it's just that moment when it's time for me to leave, and that's like it's like one of the more one of the absolute best memes of all time, in my opinion, because it's so versatile, it's so relatable. You can do so much with it, and it's SpongeBob.
Yeah, I love anything SpongeBob.
Right.
So when you sinned before you came to church, and the prophet starts to call people out, Aight Imma Head Out.
Tough.
Me getting up for work wondering if I really need this job. Checks bank account. Aight Imma Head Out. At the DMV, now serving ticket number 3. Me holding ticket number 456. Aight Imma Head Out. That's so me. High school teachers, the bell does not dismiss you. I do. College professors, Aight Imma Head Out. Nobody. Jesus on the third day. Aight Imma Head Out. Guy, this is one of my favorites because I'm triggered. Guy constantly doing things to make her fall in love. Girl falls in love. Guy. Aight Imma Head Out. Been there, done that. Thank God I got a good guy now.
Yep.
Not finna head out. If we at that altar and you say Aight Imma Head Out, I'm gonna put you in your throat.
Yo, that's a good idea. You should not have given me that idea.
Let me pour my heart out and say all my little vows written from my soul.
Yeah, because you go first, right?
I don't know. I don't know the order of a ceremony.
Either way, yeah.
Aight, I'ma head out.
Aight, I'ma head out.
Whatever. And then last but not least, shout out to both of our mothers and everybody that's like a mother to us. When I visit my mom, eat all her food, steal her tissue, trash bags, and dish detergent. Aight, I'ma head out. So
be packed up full of stuff.
Yes.
It's like, where do you think you're going with this? I'm like, I need it. Thank you. I love you.
I'm gonna be honest.
Give her a chance to say nothing.
Another one of my favorite ones. I wasn't gonna put it on here because I was afraid I was gonna get a whooping. The one that was like when you at your mama's house and then she start giving you chores to do. All right, I'ma head out because I'm grown.
Like I don't even do these chores in my house,
right? And if I do them when I feel like it.
I remember that one time my mom wanted me to come home so bad over some break in college, and sure enough, I was like, oh, my mom really wants to see me. I guess I'll go see my mama.
She saved you some chores.
Drive that whole 4.5 hours from Prairie View to Shreveport.
Yeah, you did.
And what am I doing when I get there? Painting the kitchen.
I was gonna say yard work.
Nah. I was painting the kitchen.
Yeah, she was waiting on you.
I would have been fine with yard work, but it was like December at this point. So yeah, it was Christmas break or something like that. Yeah. There's a picture of me painting the kitchen somewhere too. I'm like, that's why mama wanted me home so bad.
Basically. So that's pretty much all that was on my timeline this week. I don't know what was on your timeline, but I'm pretty sure it was good. What we got for obscure news?
All right. Of course, we're not trying to make light of Hurricane Dorian in any way. However, sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying. So let's pay an old visit to our good friend, Florida Man.
I love Florida Man.
Yeah.
Never lets us down.
Yeah. So this week, Florida Man is not so bad. Florida Man buys over 100 generators to send to the Bahamas.
Florida Man actually did something good.
Good on you, Florida Man.
Good on you.
Jacksonville, Florida. Florida Man's good deed is not going unnoticed after he bought over 100 generators and food to send to the Bahamas. Alex Sprague, who lives in Jacksonville, said he went to a Costco to buy a generator and saw a man purchasing over 100 of them. Sprague said the man was buying the generators and food to send to the Bahamas. Why is this article so repetitive? So it basically tells a story, and then it tells you who told them. Like, poor journalism. We're just in Costco, and then he's okay. So then it's telling the story for a third time within one story. Yeah. So I guess we're done with that.
Well, I'm glad to hear Florida Man actually doing something good for once. It's usually like Florida Man ate someone's face off.
Yeah.
So
yeah, good on you, Florida Man.
Yes.
And another not so bad Florida Man story.
What?
Florida Man. Are y'all familiar with smart cars?
Yeah.
The little things that look like the adult version of Little Tykes. Yeah. I've actually seen them painted to look like the Little Tykes car. Mm-hmm. Florida Man parks smart car in kitchen so it won't blow away.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the car's small enough. In theory, it could very well flip over a couple times. The man's wife hopes he put the car back outside once the wind dies down because my dogs are confused by it.
I bet they are,
says the wife. Jacksonville. Okay, Jacksonville again. Apparently Jacksonville is like the not so crazy part of Florida. Let me not even say that because sure enough, next week that's going to be a Florida man.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
Yeah, ripped off somebody's arm and tried to sell it on eBay. I'm going to be so mad if I'm right about that. Please anyway.
That would be right.
Yeah, it started as a lighthearted challenge between a Florida couple. Can a smart car fit into their kitchen? The answer, yes. Yes, it can.
But that's pretty cool.
It is. It really is. It looks, in this picture, it looks as though they had double doors wide enough to literally drive the pocket-sized car into their kitchen. And when I say pocket-sized, I'm being funny, but still.
I guess they don't have a garage. They must have a carport.
Jessica Eldridge said her car was already parked in the garage.
Okay.
To avoid cleaning their garage out, her husband parked the car in the house. Sound like something I would do. Like, look, I'm not finna clean out the other side of the garage because then where's that stuff gonna go?
Right.
We ain't got time for all that. Yeah, we don't have time to sort it out and then deal with it and then donate it and then take it nowhere or sell it or throw it away because it's all just gonna end up blown around anyway. So let's do it after the hurricane. Would have been my logic. He said, I said there was no way he could. He said he could, Jessica said. So he opened the double doors and had it in. She was amazed. Yeah, that's pretty much that. I thought that was funny. We'll probably post this picture on Instagram so y'all can see it. We'll share the link on our Facebook or something like that, because it's actually funny. It's
That's
like
hilarious.
funny that their kitchen's big enough. It looks like they moved the dining room table out of the way or something like that. But
those really cars are so small.
They are very small. Literally, they're literally meant for 1.5 people.
Yeah.
To commute, that's all it's meant for. Of course, they're very small, meaning they're probably very good on gas or electricity or whatever kind of power I'm sure it's electricity. I'm sure it's an electric car. Either way, it worked. Their car's in the kitchen. So that's all I'm gonna do for this week.
Alrighty, so we'll just go ahead and hop into our listener letters.
Some hilarious ones for next week, though.
Love it. Can't wait. So remember, you can just email us at askttr@gmail.com. That's askttr@gmail.com. And also remember the stuff I asked y'all to hit us up about, the Facebook dating or any of the other dating apps, and then also date night ideas for me and Ryan. You can send that to askttr@gmail.com also. But for the questions, it could be relationship drama, work drama. It could be, friend drama. It could be, internal battle you're having with yourself.
Please tell me we got an update from my man that said, from her mouth that speaks life.
Oh, man. We need some updates, y'all, on previous letters.
I'm hoping that went well.
Yeah, I do too. Hope she took it well. And then also, you can always ask us questions as well, just about us. So Send us your questions to askttr@gmail.com. And our first question of the week is... I'm trying to decide which one to do. All right, we're going to do, how do you know when it's time to let go in a relationship? And this is from Carlton.
Mr. Banks or somebody else? Like, what show did you get Carlton from?
Yeah, from Fresh Prince.
Okay, just make sure.
Yeah.
How do you know it's time to let go? So, recurring theme with this episode is, are you happy? It sounds to me like Nicki Minaj hasn't been happy in her last few musical projects. Are you happy in this relationship? Maybe time to take your retirement. Carlton, is your partner happy? Is that person happy? Can you tell that they're less happy than normal? And you got a point. Sometimes it may not be time to let it go. It might just be a storm that you got to get through. A lot of the times it's better to let go and let that person be free rather than hold and wait. And it's better for me to let it go now than hold on and hurt you. That's from one of the best songs in the world. Right. So is it time to let it burn? Here's my advice for that. Imagine your life without that person. Take a lot of time to do it in detail. Do y'all live together? That means you got to move out. One of y'all got to move out. Start looking for places. Start pricing other apartments, a different house, whatever the case is. Calculate what your income will look like and how you'll spend everything. Then figure out, you might want a different car. You might have some really good times in the current car, and then those times will remind you of that person. Are you going to want to keep that same car, getting that same car every day? That makes you think about the good or the bad times that you had in that car. Think about all the gifts that you'll probably need to get rid of. Think about all the friends and family of that person's that you'll have to probably let go of when you do. Think about the future that you were planning initially, and then figure out what you're going to do from that point. If any of that excites you, let it go. However, if any one of those thoughts brings you any kind of misery, figure out what you need to do to make it work again. That's my advice for that. At that point, literally only you can decide that. And then, might not even hurt to have a conversation with your partner to figure out, I don't know if it's just me or if it's both of us or if it's something going on that's just in my mind, but are we okay? A
lot of people are afraid to say that, but that's okay to say.
It's okay. It's a valid question.
You can check in every now and then and make sure things are good. That's actually not a bad idea.
Not at all. But yeah, of course, don't make any rash decisions. Take literally a couple weeks to do everything I just said on that list. Price out where you're going to move to next. Figure out what you can let go of. Figure out who you can let go of in terms of the friends and family that you've accrued together. Like, for example, if me and Tara were to break up right now, we would literally have to divide our entire friend group. Her whole side of the family that lives in this area, I'm probably not going to see them very much often or much more. Especially if you love her family, if you love that person's family the way that I love her family and her family loves me, it's going to be rough. So the real question is, can you live without that? Does the idea of leaving excite you? If it does, take another week or so to think about why. Weigh the good and the bad. If the good outweighs the bad, make it work. If the bad outweighs the good, then you might be onto something. So again, take your time, think about everything from every possible angle. What about you? What do you think?
So my first reaction to this question, just taking it at face value, I would say the fact that you're asking this question means that it's probably been time.
Yeah, there's something there.
But I do want to say you didn't give us any context. There's no backstory. So we don't know why you're feeling this way. We don't know, if this person cheated or if you're just in a lull in your relationship, which happens.
Like, are you bored? Are you thinking about somebody else?
Are they doing something to upset you? Are you feeling like you're giving your all and they're not matching your efforts? Like,
is there no more sex? I
feel like we would need a little bit more to this story to really give a good answer. But again, back to my original thought, the fact that you're asking it might be time. But I also want to say there are a lot of couples who feel like, is it time to end this? And that it's just a phase, and then they work through it. Mm-hmm. And then they're like so happy years later. So I don't know. I can't really tell you end it or don't end it. I like Ryan's idea of, can you imagine yourself without them? Because that's it right there. If you're with somebody and you're like, I literally cannot imagine my life without you. I could not live without you. That's when you're like, okay, yeah, you might get on my nerves every now and then. Like, it's little quirks and things you do that I could live without or is annoying. Or we may have issues and we have to talk it out. That's different from being like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this no more. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Are you just completely not feeling the relationship at all altogether? Are you completely not feeling that person anymore? You're not attracted to them. You're not excited when they're, your phone lights up and it's them, like, I mean, obviously, if you've been together for a while, some of the butterflies and the newness fades, you get through the honeymoon phase or whatever, but you still should have like moments where you're just like, wow, where you're reminded of why you love that person. If you're not having that anymore, then it might be time to think about it. I would say don't make a rash decision. Don't just up and break up with a person just because you're having these doubts. I think you should talk it out with them and say, hey, maybe something in your life changed. Like, sometimes when you go through a change in each other's lives, it can kind of shift the dynamics of your relationship. So if you did recently go through a big change, maybe a new job or a move to a new city or whatever the case may be, y'all moved in together or moved out. I don't know, whatever it is, that could have led to it. So you just have to figure out, am I bored with this person? Or am I no longer interested in this relationship?
You could just also be bored with life in general.
Right. Honestly, that
might not be the thing.
When you're depressed with your life, that can bleed into your relationship. So you might just need to go to therapy and figure out, make sure you're good with yourself. And then also, this could be something you could talk out with a therapist to, give them a little bit more information, some more details, to figure out, is this a relationship that I'm thriving in? Because you want to be happy. I mean, it's like Ryan said, ultimately at the end of the day, are you happy? Are they happy? If the answer is no, then you have to figure out, is this something worth working through? Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Let me work it. I'm sorry.
It might be time to put that thing down, flip it and reverse it.
Or it might be time to let it burn.
True. However,
we're such millennials.
We really are. Now, what I will say, contrary to popular belief, Tara and I are not without our problems.
No.
There have been moments where I literally had to take the advice that I just gave you.
Same.
And I literally spent time. I told you what I said because that's what worked for me.
Exactly.
It got to a point where I was like, is it me? Is it her? Is it us? Is it something else that I can't figure out? Is it something that's right in front of me? Is it because I moved here from where I came from? Is it because my friends aren't nearby to cheer me on or something? What is it, you know? So I literally took time.
And did the work.
Examined myself and did the work, because obviously relationships take work.
And I think that's the thing people forget about. People think that the relationship just operates on its own, but you do have to. It requires work. It requires effort on both parts. So yeah, I would kind of check in with your partner and see if they're feeling the same way, or if, you know, it's just you. Like sometimes it's like, hey, I feel like something's been weird between us. Is that just me? Oh, I've just been tired. Like, you know what I mean? It could be as simple as that. It could be something that you're reading too much into whatever they're doing, and you know, it may be a valid explanation for why their behavior has changed.
All right, it's just maybe something tiny that you don't realize or they don't realize. There's like, oh, I'm sorry, I felt like you needed space, so I was trying to give you a little bit of space. So we're good. It might have just been a complete miscommunication. You could have misinterpreted an action, or they could have misinterpreted your action.
And this is why we are big advocates for therapy. And that is something for you to do together and individually, because it gives you the tools. And, you know, it's just like getting an oil change, you know, like maintenance on your car, maintenance on your relationship. Same thing.
Same way you maintain your body. You got to put some work into it every once in a while.
Yes.
But yeah, ultimately, where I was going with that is, you remember, like, I highly doubt you remember this, but at one point, it was some years ago at this point, you were just like, you've been really nice to me lately. What's up with you? It was at that point when I was like, yeah, I ain't going nowhere. Because I was like, I imagined every possible future that did not involve you. And I was like, fuck that. Yeah, I was like, we'll figure this out one way or another, and I ain't going nowhere.
So, and here we are. About to jump a broom.
Yup.
So maybe you can work through it. Maybe you can't. Only you can know that. But we're here to support you through that. Definitely follow up with us.
It was funny because you were like, you were being awfully nice to me, and I was just like, I didn't want to say nothing, but you were just sitting there enjoying it. I was just like, yeah, you know, like I said, just take some time. Take time. Don't jump. Don't leap before you look, or whatever the phrase is, or something like that.
Do you want to do one more question or not?
I think we can stop there for now.
All right. So remember to send us questions to askttrl@gmail.com. That's askttrl@gmail.com.
You can also DM us, which is fine.
Always. Absolutely. Feel free to do that.
Either one of our accounts or our TTRL account. Doesn't even matter.
Yep. So we're just going to wrap up the show with our quick tip in general, just a little love life advice for those of you in relationships and situationships and other types of ships. So telling your spouse where you are, who you're with, and what time you're coming home is not being controlled.
It's not.
It's actually showing respect.
Yeah.
And so that is something that a lot of people don't think about. I saw something the other day on like the marriage club group me that I'm in on Facebook. And not group me on Facebook. Y'all know what I mean.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to let you have it.
The marriage group that I'm in on Facebook. Anyway, so they were saying like, should your spouse have a curfew? And at first I was like, curfew? What does that even mean? And then I realized, like they're basically saying, is there a certain time that your significant other should definitely be home? And you're grown. Like, I'm not finna be like, all right, be home by 10. Like, no.
Right.
Not doing that. However, if you were to come home at 4 a.m. on the regular with no explanation, no rhyme or reason, that would be concerning. Now, obviously, you are a photographer, so a lot of times you're shooting events, and they may go till 2 a.m. or 3 a.m.
Yeah, a lot of them do. And then, you know, you get to that parking lot, and everybody's just out there talking. And then you finally got to hit them with that, all right, I'm going to go home.
All right, I'm going to head home. So, you know, like, that is not a frequent occurrence, but it happens. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm not going to be like, you're supposed to be home by 10. You're supposed to be home by midnight.
Where were you?
No.
I was expecting you. I'm like,
I'm going to be asleep, first of all.
Exactly. There's been times where I came home from one thing and then got a phone call and left for another thing.
The thing is, it's a matter of respect. And, you know.
You were asleep, so you had no idea. That's where I was going with that.
But my thing is, as long as I know where you're at, I'm good. Like, I know, you're shooting such and such tonight, so you're going to be out late. So then I can go to sleep and sleep peacefully. Because my brain, I like literally the way my anxiety is set up, if you're gone and I don't know where you are, or you're gone longer than I thought you should be, or like, I feel like I thought he was going to come home straight from work and you end up going to the grocery store. I'm just in my mind, you dead on the side of the road.
Yeah, me too. Like yesterday when you came home from your business trip, and I was just like, I counted the time you said you were leaving and compared it to where you were coming from and the time it was then. I was like, she should have been here 42 minutes ago.
And you were right.
And I was like, hey, where are you?
Because I went to drop somebody off and then went to run an errand.
Because I know Tara drives a little slower than some people.
I do, because I got a lot of speeding tickets in my early 20s. So now I drive like a grandma on cruise control.
She's gotten more speeding tickets than I have.
I have. And I drive so slow. And people are always like, you drive so slow. There's a reason for that.
And I'm a diehard Fast and Furious fan, and I drive like it.
Anyway, the point is, it's just about letting your significant other know, hey, I'm about to run to the store. Do you need anything? That's just common courtesy. Or, hey, I'm on the way home. What do you want to do for dinner? Like, that's just part of being in a relationship.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things single people won't understand unless you've been in a long-term relationship before. But checking in with each other is just a matter of respect. It doesn't mean like you whipped or they're controlling.
You got your whip, bro.
But I mean, if people take it too far, that is controlling. When they don't want you ever going anywhere.
Right. Like you said you was going to Walmart. Why you was at Target?
Right. You know when they start checking your mileage, like on Why Did I Get Married? Yeah. She was like, I know that it takes him 4.2 miles to get to so-and-so house and drop the kids off, and 3.6 miles to get to his job, 2 miles to get to his job. Like,
that's doing
the
absolute
gym.
most.
Like, yeah, I'm not doing all that.
With the very least.
Absolutely not doing all that. I'm also, we can talk about this another time, but I'm also not a huge fan of like the tracking. You know what I'm talking about? Like Find My Friends.
Oh, yeah.
On iPhones. Like, I know people that will literally, I'm not going to say stalk people they date, but just know where they are.
Right.
And I don't care enough. I feel like you let me know.
Like if it's thing on Snapchat and all of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Anywho, so just tell people where you are and where you're going to be and what time you're going to be home. It's that simple. Respect. So that's all we have for this week's episode of Tara Talks Ryan Listens. Y'all remember I did get a new handle. So I am now at IMTCar on Instagram and Twitter. So go ahead and make sure you're following me there, and make sure you're following us at This Is TTRL on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And since I have started my social media accounts, I have always been THERY_C because somebody else named Ryc took my name, so I had to be the Ryc, which is perfectly fine because yes, there can be others, but I'm the Ryc. The Ryc. You feel me?
I feel you.
Yeah. But yeah, I even actually have my name trademarked too.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. But yeah. Either way, follow us, hit us up, comment, like, post, like, repost.
Yeah.
Or post. Yeah.
Share
post on your thing, post it, or repost something we put. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your cousins, tell your neighbors, tell your coworkers. Our podcast is free. It's free to click share. It's free to be like, hey, check out this podcast that I enjoyed or that I listened to once and thought it was not terrible. You know? I try to make sure the audio quality is pretty good, so it's easier to listen to. And we definitely appreciate the people who do listen. Guess that pretty much wraps it up.
That's it. Y'all have a great week.
Yeah, sorry for this being late, but like I said, we got several other things that we do in addition to this podcast. So, like I said, we're going to try to keep it relatively consistent. It's just going to be sporadic over the next couple months because we're both going to be traveling for business a lot. And she already has a copy of my schedule.
I sure do. I read that. I clicked on it. Mm-hmm.
She didn't look at it. She didn't like actually read it though. She literally asked me when I was leaving. I'm like, I just spent all that time making you a very.
If it ain't in my passion planner, it ain't happening.
All right, I'm gonna print one for your passion planner then.
Thanks.
All right.
Have a good week, y'all.
Peace.